You want to make something? What should we make?
What's on the table?
I don't know. Let them guess halfway through. We'll see if they know. Can only be a couple of things, I think, but maybe somebody will figure it out. Some dude always guesses it right off the bat. I think he's just guessing. I don't think he really knew what it was, so we never picked that guy.
Are you going to let them guess, or are you going to actually tell them randomly halfway
Well,
through?
you're probably going to mess it up and tell them.
Oh, okay.
It won't be me.
Never is.
All right, so process of elimination. I have a bunch of pieces right here, and we will just start sewing some of these pieces and eliminate them. On Woodland, you can put OD, well, you can put anything you want. You're a grown-ass man. But a lot of companies will put OD green on Woodland, or they'll put Coyote on Woodland. So I guess it just depends what color you want to amplify. I have this other thing sitting here. Maybe they saw it, maybe they didn't.
I don't think they did.
I think it's been, I don't think I've made one of these since we moved into this building. Maybe I did, a little bit different. Yes, I know I didn't sew that edge of the Velcro down. This is going to get concealed by some webbing. And the only reason I'm even sewing this edge down is because it's faster to just sew it than to cut it and start the stitch line again. And we'll hem this here. There's no, you notice I don't do a mark on a lot of hems. I just kind of sew it down, fold it over, sew it like that.
Have you just hemmed so much that you can just eye it now?
Yeah. I mean, they might not, if you put it on some calibrated piece of equipment, I'm sure
It's probably perfect if you put it on a calibrated piece of
highly
equipment.
calibrated, highly. I mean, I had my eyes removed in the deepest, darkest prisons down in the inside of caves, had them polished so I can see in the dark. So when I go to the planet, I fare better than Vin Diesel did. Plus, I'm taller. A lot taller than Vin Diesel. My muscle mass is quite higher also.
Higher than Vin Diesel's?
Yeah,
Okay.
much higher, yeah.
Lower body fat.
He has much higher body fat. That's why he had to drive those old metal cars, and he couldn't ride couldn't cruise around in the little Supras. Putting these zippers on, you can put this second line in here, and they got zipper feet and all kinds of stuff. I don't ever change my foot out to do special things. So you can put this second line in. If you just sew your, it's upside down obviously. Face up material, upside down on the zipper, and then you just sew right along the edge, and then turn it around, run right along the foot, catch that second line. And you don't have to do that, but if you're not comfortable sewing zippers, you haven't done a bunch, it's probably easier to do that. And then this here, I'm just going to hem this right here, and you can do the outside or the inside. I'm just going to do the inside here and just follow the track. So I'm just holding this zipper every few inches, making that fold right there. I cannot see this in here. Right there, just like that. And then that's locked in. I'm just going to come back and sew right along the edge. So the zipper ends up with 4 lines of stitches. You don't have to do this. if you can make that fold and get it right on the edge, nice and sharp, you don't have to put that other line in there. And I'm sure you could do this with just 2 lines even, but it gives you nice, conceals the zipper right there, that track, just like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this together just so these pairs of zippers are matched. I'm going to go ahead and sew this one on here in the same manner, but I'm going to do this one with 3 lines and show you instead of 4. Now I'm not pulling on this zipper and stretching it. It's not as stiff, it's not under as much tension because I have separated it. So just don't pull on it and they'll size out nice. So there's 1 stitch there. And now I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to push this into where I want this to be. I'm going to catch that other edge. A lot of companies don't even sew that inside edge down, and truth is you probably don't need it. It's just attention to detail. We've not seen our zippers fail. We've not seen our zippers come out. So while I have that there, I'm going to go ahead and zip these together just so these pairs stay together. If you took the inside of this zipper and the other side, they will zip together, but they kind of do weird things sometimes. So I like to make sure that each side of the track stays paired. So there's that. I'm a little far, so I'm going to start it again. I want it a little further back. No, let's pull this piece back a little. There we go. Good enough, close enough. Now I will put this back on and just slide this to about the middle so it's out of the way of the work. If you're going to put your zipper on and you have a few fails where they don't lock up, you'll kind of mash the material and it's kind of hard to get it on. You can clip just 1 tooth off of the side that's boogered up there, and that'll often help. Don't trip. I'm about a tooth out here and I'm about a tooth out here. This, we're going to sew this probably about a 1/2 inch in. You have plenty of room to conceal that. You'll never see it. It will all be okay. And then as far as where I pulled that apart and separated it, you could leave it together and just sew it on here, just like so, without separating it. I guess there's not really a right or wrong way. You just do your way. And when you're learning, try different things. I separate them because it's less bulk, and it's just and just like having this piece on here, it's more that you have to deal with. But that foot against that zipper track, I can just run this like I'm looking at you, not even paying attention to the zipper. I can run it right down and it'll just follow that. So there's that. And then to do this, I find it is easier to separate these, to do this fold over right here. And I need a light on this side of the table. Out of the thread. And then that scissors underneath to remove the bobbin, that's all I'm using that for, is just to catch that lever with the tip of the scissors. You can use a screwdriver, your finger, whatever. You might want to take your foot off of that gas pedal, because if you turn that and that hook's there, it'll bury that in your finger if you somehow applied too much. Where did I put it? Here we go. one that way. I want this one to go opposite. Really doesn't matter. You can do whatever. It's your bag. You do whatever you want with your bag. Are you the both left-right guy, or are you the opposite side opposing guy? It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to care. Pretty close. We're going to conceal 1/2 inch of that. That'll work. Put this. Do not sew this together without a zipper pull, though. Like if you run the zipper pull off the other end, I put these back on here because I have bags that I have built, very expensive bags that I was going to auction off, and there's no zipper pull on that zipper track, and those leather bags are all the way together and they're all the way edge taped, and I would destroy it. It will go literally from a $2,000 bag to a $100 bag off of that mistake. So there is that. Let's get rid of some more pieces here. Just process of elimination. I know so far I've showed you the same thing several different ways. Also, when you go to lace up that zipper, when you put that slide on there, you can just take some of this fur and just kind of kiss it with a flame, melt it out of the way, and that's just a little bit less to snap. When you're learning how to put those zippers on, they've got all kinds of stuff. They've got a zipper starter and a zipper thing and all kinds of shit. But just learn how to do it. You'll get good at it once you can do it. We always say we're going to give these away. If you guess and leave the best comment, we're going to give these away. And I'm always surprised how few people actually comment.
They don't like free shit.
Huh?
They don't like free shit.
Oh, they like free shit. Somebody does. People on YouTube just inherently are lazy. Or they're watching. Like I watch. I more listen than watch. But I have a sitting here usually when I'm selling. So. Post on Facebook or Instagram, who wants free shit, literally that, I'll have 1,000 comments in under an hour on people want free shit. They don't even know, and most of the people commenting, they've never even seen our social media. We should literally mail them shit. Here's your free shit. There was a company at Christmas said, hey, give us $5, we'll mail you some shit. They literally mailed out shit. Just a little bit. Man, I'm right back where I started. I had it, and then I thought I was too far back. Let's go one. There we go. Perfect. Imagine that.
Who'd ever thought?
Who'da thunk? I'll tattoo that on your hand.
Who'da thunk?
Thunk, who'da thought? Perfect is what I thought. We'll put that on your hand. Careful when you go across that zipper. You're gonna bust that machine, knock it out of time, bend the needle. That's where it's gonna happen at. Forward, backwards, I just tacked it in there. So this gives you plenty of room, and when you make your patterns you can decide what it is. I'll bet I'm close to about a 1/2 inch right there from the edge. So what this is going to do is I'm going to pull this here and I'm going to sew these bottom edges here even, and then I'm going to travel up the side here. I'm going to pull both of this, so it's going to make that bottom edge and the top edge tight. And what that does is this material here, these pieces with the zipper, are concealed in here a 1/2 inch. I'm going to top sew this. And right there again on that zipper, I'm just going to tack that in there. And I'm pulling this evenly. So what it gives me, I'll show you in a second. Makes it nice and flat on the top and the bottom. It conceals that raw edge, and we don't need any edge tape in there, and we don't have to worry about edge taping over that thick part where the zipper is. Because a lot of guys starting out, they have a hard time with that. And we're going to do the same thing right here. Are we starting to see what this is? Anyone? Bueller.
Snake pouch.
And you want the snake pouch?
Snake.
A snake pouch. I don't think it's a snake. Well, I guess you could. I think at some point I have had snakes in these probably. Snake is snakes. You ever had snakes? You ever had a pet snake?
Nope. Had an iguana.
An iguana? Iguanas are pretty mean, male
It was like
iguanas.
3 feet almost.
That's a pretty good size
It was
iguana.
a giant iguana. We'd taken a kitchen table, 2 of them. One was upside down for the base, and then the 4 legs we screwed together to the top ones, and put chicken wire around it and made an enclosure.
Are we talking about alive iguanas?
Yeah, like giant iguana.
It's crazy. Do you still have an iguana?
No.
Do you want one?
Nope. My brother had a tarantula.
I don't like spiders.
I hate spiders.
A lot of reptile guys keep spiders because they're easy to breed. You make money on them.
I have Rachel.
I don't think she's a spider or an iguana.
Anybody ever ask you if you have animals?
Somebody ever asked me if I have animals?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe if I have pets, and I'm like, not like you have pets. We have a different type. We have different kinds of pets. I have many animals. I like to take my Siamese fighting fish out for walks. You ever walk your fish?
Nope.
Put them in my pocket.
Is that a Ziploc?
No, just in my pocket.
Are you better at sewing or tattooing?
I'm by far better at tattooing.
You've only made a couple bags, but you've done many tattoos?
Mini tattoos. Mini, as in a large quantity. Should every tattoo artist have done a tattoo on themselves at some time?
I would think so. Your first tattoo should be on yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, mine wasn't.
I'll give you a good idea of how far needle depth you should be using.
I don't have any tattoos. I'm scared of needles.
I've seen your forbidden tattoo.
My forbidden tattoo.
Yeah.
My Chiquita banana tattoo.
Yeah.
I really thought if I got that tattoo that Chiquita would sponsor me, and I think I'm still disappointed.
I think that was a 90s thing where like everybody thought if they got a logo tattooed on them, they would get like money. Like when that guy got that porn website tattooed on his face.
Was that
Or
real?
casino or
Like
something.
Pornhub or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Imagine his surprise.
Then they gave him like probably $1,000 and he's like, yes.
Is that what they gave him?
I don't know. I'll have to
Dudes
look
always
into
come
it.
to me, they're like, I'll get a SOE tattoo if whatever. I'm like, dude, there's 2,000 SOE tattoos out there that I didn't pay for. I definitely don't need to pay some random person that I've never met. I usually start that conversation with, what's your last order number?
If the order is big enough.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just if we get hit up all the time. Hey, do you want to donate to my thing or my nonprofit? Or, you know, I always start with, what's your last order number? Because if you haven't done business and interacted with my company, like, no thanks. It'd be like me asking Toyota for something and not having a fucking Toyota. Define center, fold it in half. There's your center. That simple. How wide is this bag? I really don't know. Don't look down here.
Not looking.
5.5. I think that'll work. So it's probably 6. We're gonna just go. We're gonna call this 5.5. Why am I doing this? Anybody know? Shit, I need it on the other side. Okay, so if you've marked the wrong side, all you gotta do, run your marks out and then fold it and just make your little hashes right here. And I've got I'm gonna go this far and this far, and this is the center. So I want this in the middle to be 1 inch, this fold over right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to blow past this a little bit so I can see it when it's folded. I'm just going to start right here. Come into here, and I'm going to come back to here. At least I think I'm going to. Just like so. And I'll show you in a little while why that is there and what that is. It's flatter on this side, so I'm going to find my centers right here rather than fighting that zipper. 13, 12, yeah, it is 13. Okay, there's my halves. Here's my halves here. I think this goes.
Me trying everything in my power not to see what you're throwing up.
Not the pan down.
Yeah.
I'm sure they know what this is already. Where does that go? I just had that 3/4 from the edge, or 3/4 from the zipper. 3/4 from the edge. Did you see it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I don't even need the mark. I just need it on that right there. All right. So 3 inches, 3 inches. Man, perfect. First time. Imagine that. Do the funk. Do the funk. Do the funk it. Try those freeze-dried Lucky Charms
No. Do you have them?
with freeze-dried milk. Milky Milk. Do you know Marky Mark?
Kinda.
Did you ever meet him?
No. You know Vin Diesel?
Yeah, I'm a lot taller than he is. I used to walk up and put my elbow on his head. He's probably still mad at me. Let's just say I don't think he's going to have me in any of his Fast and Furious movies.
You don't
That's
think
fine.
so?
That's fine. I'll go and do the other franchise with The Rock.
Without Tyrese.
That's right. I'll play Tyrese's part. Everything's gender fluid and everything now, so. Oh, I can't play that part. Never mind. I make all my handles, the folds at 5 inches. You can make them at 6 or 7 or 5, whatever you want them to be. I don't really know why I chose 5. I mean, at the time there was some reason. It's been so long that I probably don't remember why, but 5 is the number. Shirley. No, I'm not calling you. I didn't just misgender you. I'm not calling you Shirley. Surely. If you're familiar with my company, I am sure that you know what this is. Now this, you can go from here with the handles straight into the other one. I am just terminating and coming into here so I don't have these two big flops, these two big straps flopping around smacking you. I guess I should have made a mark. What am I at? 1 3/4. Yep, see, I was about to be off quite a bit. All right, so I just checked the comments. I don't really like the comments that have been left, so maybe I'll just give this back to you.
Take it.
But only if I remake it in Coyote.
I like all colors.
No, let's get rid of all that Coyote stuff you have and get off everything Woodland. You know what's better than Woodland?
What?
Woodland with multicam black on it.
You know what's better than that?
Yeah, multicam black with Woodland.
Sex chocolate.
Sexual chocolate? What is your sexual query? Yes, I thought I'd take, we'd take my car, which does not exist. Yes, when I said we would go to dinner, I just pretty much meant we would have sex. Do you even know what that's from?
The ladies' man?
Yeah.
Leon Phelps, the ladies' man?
I forget you're not 20 years old.
No. I kind of give off that 20-year-old vibe though.
All those church
I had a
tattoos.
pager.
It's all those church tattoos you have on your forehead.
Yeah. I had a pager.
Did you really have a
I had a
pager?
see-through
Like
clear
that
green
actually worked?
pager. Yeah. My mom had me a pager so I could be out in town, and if she paged me, I knew to come home.
When I was a pimp, I had all my girls had C2 pagers.
Yeah. I wasn't a pimp. I was just pimped up by my mom. Come home and get my ass wet.
I had a pager. 619-998-8512 was my number.
Is that Mike Jones?
Mike Jones. I had a Sky pager too.
I would go to payphones.
Yep.
And I would do collect calls. And when it said, you have a call from picking up at Save-A-Lot.
Yeah.
And then my dad would know. I'd just sit there until he got there.
Did you ever do the party line thing where you called 411 and while it was ringing you'd yell out your phone number? And then girls would hear it and they would fucking they were doing the same thing. So while they were calling 411 and you were calling 411 information, you'd yell your phone number out and then chicks would call you? You never did that?
I never did that. But I did call 1411 a lot.
Remember when 411 used to cost on your cell phone?
Yeah.
And you'd call 411 through like Verizon, they would charge you for it?
And when I first got like my first Nokia like little brick cell phone, I remember you could text a question to something and it would answer it for you. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a service. You would pay like 5 cents a question or something.
Imagine.
So like if you were trying to figure out the lead singer of a band, you would text it and it would tell you.
Really? It was somebody with
It
the
was
internet.
Google before like
Somebody with the internet.
I'm sure Google was around, but it was like Ask Jeeves, you know.
So normally, right here, I'm just burning the fuzz here. But normally, we'll take a hot knife. Actually, we'll go show you. We'll just stand up and go do this. Come on. Come on, Meow. Let me show you what we're going to do. Can you get my entire lats in that video there?
The silhouette.
I might have to zoom out.
The silhouette's huge.
Okay, this right here. This is the Weller. It's the 300-200. They make another one, but you can't get it comes with a giant piece here. You really want the 300-200. There's a lesser one. You don't want that. So this has like the turbo mode on it. Heats up super fast, and when you push it all the way in, it goes to 300 watts. We have a rubber band so that if we're cutting a bunch of stuff, we just turn this permanently on. It's already smoking. I'm going to take all this melted nylon right here, this lava, and I'm going to scrape this off of here. But what we're going to do is sear this, and I typically do it from this side. You'll see guys do it differently, but I want to melt this zipper right here, and do not get this on your hand. I'm going to melt across there with a bevel, so when I sew across, it's going to sew a lot cleaner, and it's also just going to close that zipper up, so you're never going to have the chance, even if you busted past the stitching somehow. In the future, they're using this, they sustain some damage somehow. This is going to stay on the zipper. You're not going to lose that. Just like that. Maybe I'll put a link in this video. We have an Amazon affiliate link. I'll put a link to this soldering gun. You don't have to buy it there, but you'll see exactly which one I'm talking about. I typically don't find these locally. We used to be able to buy them at Lowe's, and now Lowe's has one that's a lesser voltage. Wattage, lesser wattage. I like the little flip-flops, the pattern of your feet there.
Vans, man.
Vans, you have a Vans sponsor? Are you sponsored by Vans?
No.
Vans should give you shoes.
I know, I should be sponsored.
You want me to talk to somebody?
Yeah. If you don't mind.
Man, I've tried. I've bought Vans. They are just not comfortable.
I have very flat feet.
Just like those, what are those multicam black shoes? Ultimas? Ultima makes them. I bought like 6 pairs of them. They look rad sitting on my rack. They're the most uncomfortable shoes.
I don't necessarily have. I put new insoles in my Vans because I have like medium, flat feet, but with a little bit of arch, just a tiny bit.
Is that why you can't skateboard?
That's why I can skateboard.
That's why you can't skateboard.
And I have extremely long toes.
I see dudes that skate maybe for a living, and I think you skateboard better than those guys skateboard.
Probably not so much anymore.
Okay, coming up to this, where this zipper here is. Gotta get my favorite screwdriver.
Where'd you get it from?
From James Yeager. Peroni's I wonder if these guys are in training, still in business. Peroni's Tactical Training Academy. I feel like they should give us sponsorship money.
I feel like they should send you boxes of screwdrivers at this point.
I feel like we should get SOE ones made and just send those out to people.
I think so.
You used to go to any tire shop
My dad hasn't.
and get these, and they're like fucking impossible to find now. Okay, so I'm gonna come down here. I'm holding this zipper lip here, and I'm just gonna crawl across this zipper here, and then I'm gonna take this piece and I'm going to hold it in place. I'm gonna put it in place, let the presser fit get it. I don't want to strike this blade with this needle when it comes in. I also don't want that presser foot curling this back and sewing it out of position. So there, done. That's what we're looking for. I'm gonna come right up here. I am just sewing this. I am not pulling either piece into position. This is why we had this. And what this is going to do, I'll show you when it's done what it's going to do, why we did it. Ooh, I hope, no, this is going to push out because I do want extra down there. So I'm going to do the same piece here. Watch this. This will get here. Your needle will sew through this motherfucker. And then you got to cut it out. Also, sometimes it'll mess your needle up. It'll definitely put a burr in your needle. A lot of these machines will sew right through those zipper pulls. A lot of guys don't have zippers with zipper pulls on them. Why is that? That's because the zipper pull costs another penny to 2 cents. I like to have it because it's easier for me to put the zipper on by hand, and the time it saves versus the money it costs, it's cheaper. And then we just cut them off and put our own pulls on them. You don't have to do that if you learned how to put them on without them, and it's easy for you. Keep doing what works for you. If you're starting from the beginning and you're buying zippers in bulk, I get them with the pulls. Now we're coming up the back side. Now it's starting to pull a little, so I'm just gonna drive that needle down, pull this, and push this bulk into the project because I don't want to cut off a lot of material. Here I am coming up to these zippers here. I'm going to hold this one down. I'm going to put this one into place. It's wanting to move. There we go. Where am I not sewing? I'm not sewing here. I will show you in a minute what that slot's for. A lot of guys watching this probably know what it is. Most guys, I would say. I think most guys watching these videos know who we are and what we do. I don't think there's a lot of random dudes stumbling across these videos. Maybe there is. Don't look down here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Are you ready? I'm ready. All right. So, because I hit you with a, man, I'm really bummed that that's dying out. I tried to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, we still do it. Me and my friends and you, and then we also did the new laugh one.
All right, I'm going to take here, and I'm going to take this pocket. What is this pocket? This pocket is right here, right? I gave you some Velcro. Now you can put a morale patch or name tape there. This pocket right here is a flat pocket. This pocket right here is an internal pocket. I'm going to take this line and continue right here with this pocket stitch line. And I'm going to sew it right across. And then I'm going to turn around and come right back. Don't know what that was. Sounded like my edge taper hitting the ground.
You were correct.
It's a very distinct sound, like when you Glock cocks. Like when they're singing about Glock in a song, but it's distinctly not a Glock sound.
Distinctly a high point.
High point. That's right. You can roll these, keep all that shit out of the way. Keep that handle inside. I do want a second line in this, so I'm going to come back, meet up where I started, tack it in, chop those off. Alright, so there's your channel. What this does is it makes this pocket, so when you put your shit in, it doesn't fall through here. It also makes this slot a slot, and you can take a piece of Kydex, cutting board from Walmart, wood, whatever, put in here and make this rigid. I'd have a rigid footprint. It also, when this is all together, you can put a couple $1,000 in hunters down here, forget you have them, and you have them in an emergency. And when your chick's digging through your shit, she'll never know there's a couple $1,000 in it. Because this is your man purse. Merce. You not heard of Merce?
I've heard. I own a few.
You own a few Merces?
Yep.
All right. Now, we're going to find the centers and the quarters right here. Six and a quarter, slide over to make it even. So when I talk about making patterns, every product we make, I made 99.9% of them. There's probably something out there we've changed that I've not put hands on ever. But like this bag, for instance, when I made it, I made the first one, made the second, third, got them all the how I wanted them, added the features, then I give them to sewing. And sewing will go, okay, we're sewing them. I would like to have an extra 1/4 inch here because we're coming up short or too big in one place. So that's why this ends up being 6 1/4. It probably started as 6. I do everything in whole numbers, but they were like, hey, we're having this little pucker or a pleat, and if we add a 1/4 inch, that'll take you. So that's how that happens. That's why that's like that. So I'm gonna sew this together inside out, and I'm going to be careful not to catch this, right? So I want to be cognizant that I'm going to push this out of the way, and I'm going to tack this in here. And you could do it from the other side also, so that side's up, and then you really know what you're sewing or not sewing. I'm going to tack that there. And the more baby bites you take at this thing, the more this is going to come out correctly clocked. If this is your first, or you're not really good at putting things together yet, because if you just went through and followed this all the way around, the whole bag would be cockeyed. And that would be about as useful as a bag of severed dicks. I know. Someplace there's some dudes like, I'd like to have a bag. I would like to have a bag of severed dicks. I'd put them in a jar of formaldehyde on my desk. Dudes are like, I'll trade you a kidney. People are like, do not fuck around. John will trade you a kidney. I would love to have your kidney. I'll keep it in the freezer. You can come visit it.
Put it in a gas can, put it in the freezer.
A gas can?
Yeah.
Why a gas can?
I just figured that would hold good.
Oh, I'd put it in a Tatum museum jar. The damn jars cost. I don't know what a human kidney costs, but the jars are very expensive. I would definitely need it, to be able to display it properly.
Could you dehydrate it?
Oh, you totally could dehydrate it, but it would look a lot. You could also plastinate it, and you could freeze dry it too. I think, is it a muscle?
I don't know, just add water and it expands, you can use it again.
That's not how that works.
Isn't that how they do heart transplants?
No,
Put it in, add a little bit of heat and water,
they chill it down in a special kind of ice. Now, I don't know what I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, no, they don't. I was there when they did it. I know a guy that makes a machine. It's called a slush machine, and they chill down organs with those. So, when you're sewing your rectangle or square bag together, I'm right on the edge, like literally. So I'm going to go ahead and tack that in right there. I'm going to needle strike down. Now I'm going to take this work and I'm going to, where am I at that I have excess? I am actually, imagine that, perfect, man. Wow.
It's so rare that it's always perfect.
That always amaze me. There it is. But wait, there's more. Now you just have to do it 4 more times. And you can totally, this is the single side, this is the double side. The double side has Velcro, the double side has a zipper. It's a lot bulkier. And if you have a hard time getting these like to hold in place, you can staple these. I don't know why guys don't staple them. I see guys with spring clips and all kinds of stuff. Just staple that motherfucker together, sew it, and just pull your staples out. London Bridge, I don't know if they still do, but for a long time, London Bridge employed disabled veterans, missing limbs, missing hands and stuff. And they would glue things. They would glue their stuff in place and they would staple things. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. Like, I started stapling things in place and for a while, and then the girl I was handing the stuff to, she's like, hey, I don't need all those staples in there. Like, you don't have to staple. I just thought we were really speeding things up. Now, let me show you this. It'll disconnect. This right here could be a problem for you, where this didn't come to the edge. So what I want to do is just cut this liner off of here where it's single, so that everything I'm sewing is completely in the meat, or just sew further in. But when you're learning how to do these, close these, it's probably easier to just clean it up first. So I'm right in here. Here is the edge of this. I'm going to hold this in place and I'm going to walk right up to it. I'm right on the edge. I'm going to tack that in, strike down, needle down. I'm just going to pull this into place and see where I'm at. Now, for some reason, see, okay, there's why I have extra. I wasn't all the way to the edge. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to tack back in here. And I'm going to come out to the edge, even a little past the edge. Now, if I have excess, where do I want it? Do I want it at the top? Do I want it at the bottom? The truth is, try to split it if you can. See, I have a pucker right. I have a pleat right here. I have too much material right here by probably a 1/2 inch. So what's going to happen is it's just going to go right into this corner and it's going to fold back over. And when we flip this inside out, you're never going to know it was there. Unless the bag's clocked completely off, which it's not. Yours probably is, but this one's not. They can do it. Man, I wish somebody had made videos that you could just kind of watch and slow down, and even if you didn't like the guy, just turn the sound off. Just pay attention. There's something to learn everywhere. Now, the question is, for this other half, do you sew it with the thick side or do you sew it from here? And if you sew it from here and you come up with excess, that pleat is going to be right there on that top and you're going to see it. So the answer is sew it this way. You don't have to. I'm not the boss of you. You do whatever you want to do. The truth is, your product is probably worth more than you think your product is worth. While your asshole friends think that this is some new business you started and they don't want to pay you full price, there's always a customer that will pay you more than your customer is currently paying you. And when you start dealing with dudes that will pay you more money, and you do those guys right, their friends have more money. Dudes with money typically don't hang around broke motherfuckers. So if you give a good product, a great product, or even a good product, but the service is even better than the product, you'll get people that refer people to you. You can spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing, or you can just fucking put all of your energy into taking care of your customer. And if you do that, your customer will handle your marketing and advertising. And be aware of that zipper that I just sewed through right there. These machines, for the most part, will punch through all that thick stuff, no problem. But if you're running a lighter machine, like I did for years, you'll bust machines. And if you only have one machine, it's a problem when your machine goes down. Nowadays, you have YouTube, so you can sit up all night, trial and error, retuning that machine. I wasn't able to. We had to wait till a guy would come, or we'd have to go down to Mexico to take ours down there. Man, I ran out of thread just in time. And that is it. So, let's turn it inside out, and let's see what we have. Pop your corners. Get your corners nice and sharp. All 8 corners, top and bottom. Man, I can't believe that worked. Not really. I totally believe it worked. I completely invented this bag. Like, it never existed anywhere in the world, a rectangular bag, until I made the first one. And now everybody makes a rectangular bag. Here you guys go. Right. There we go. All right. Chop, chop. Amazing.
You gonna sign it?
Yeah, I guess I'll sign it. All right, let's go cut the zipper pulls out. Are you still filming?
Yeah,
You still filming this?
I'm filming.
Are you gonna do some epic B-roll?
We're gonna do some epic battle roll. I got the silhouette of that.
Almost knocked me over.
That one yours?
Which one?
That's not yours.
No, I just got this one. This is way cooler. Not really, those are pretty cool. Alright, we used to take and just cut these and we'd twist them off. But what it was doing is it was scratching up the coating on these things. We also used to put a screwdriver through them and just twist them, but it really boogers them up. So I just cut it twice, like so, and just take those off of there. And then we have pre-cut cord. All of our cord, we just cut it at 10 inches. I'll show you in a second how we do that. Run these through. Pull this through. You guys, you Boy Scouts can do whatever fancy knots you want. I tighten this and then I pull on the product and the knot holds it in place. If you're concerned with it coming out, you can put a drip of super glue on there. You can make these longer and put shrink tubing on them. You can do all kinds of shit. Put an aluminum tube over them and then tie them. You can get, I know you guys think it's cool. I just call it macrame. All you 550 guys. Grandma called it macrame. Did you have macrame things in your house when you were a kid? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you'd be hard pressed to find any macrame shit now. Only in like antique stores. You got any sweet macrame at your house?
Nah, I got rid of all of them.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
They weave in like little glass balls, you know, and
Yeah.
then put like Charlie or Spider Plant in there. All right, so there's that. Here, let's go. So there's your side pocket, right? That's why we sewed the bottom there. You saw the inside sleeve, so you can put a piece of plastic. You know what we forgot? You know what you forgot? You forgot the label. I guess we're gonna staple it on. Alright, here's how we do the 550 rope cutter. This one says Goldberg. Coil, spool of 550. Anytime, if you're measuring your cord, just on whatever you're working off of, just draw a line right here. This line is 10 inches. I know from here to here is 10 inches, and I cut this. This hot cutter, rope cutter, you can rip through it super fast. When you do that, it doesn't sear the edge. This is trash. So kick it at an angle, cant it, and then come through slow, and it will actually sear it, and it will prevent you having to burn it later with a lighter. So while it might take literally a fraction of a second longer here, it will save you a lot of time in the future if you just do the job right. So just like that. And that's a perfect 10 inches is what we do on our 550 cord. And that's where those are. And I'm gonna leave this mess, and Jake's gonna be like, why am I having to clean this up? So that's it right there. All right. And you can do like nunchucks. You can go. You could really hit somebody with this. It's like an impact weapon. You can keep an 8-pack in there.
An 8-pack of what?
8-pack. Whatever you drink, 8-pack.
Of Yoo-hoo?
Whatever you want, 8-pack. Like my abs.